Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and if you're new to my channel then welcome and thank you for subscribing.
Oh, I have quite a few brushes to talk about over here.
Very first brush that I'm going to talk about that I actually use to put on my concealer is this particular brush over here. This is the Sigma Cream Color E58. It's a synthetic flat brush that I basically use to lay over my paint pot, concealer, or any kind of cream color. These are my absolute favorite blending brushes. The Sigma Blending in E25. This is a must-have. I mean, this brush, you could just place the eyeshadow onto your crease or into your lid. Blending brushes are a must-have. Now this is not to deposit color. This is purely just for blending. This is also from Sigma. This is the Sigma E40 brush. This is like my favorite brush. I cannot do without this brush. I mean, I cannot blend out my eyeshadows. You need this brush to blend out your crease, your shadow. This is a synthetic bristle brush. It's really fluffy. This is my absolute favorite to blend out eyeshadow. So you don't dip this brush into any color. It's meant just for blending. Okay, so now this is another brush. It's a natural hair goat hair finish brush. This is also a blending brush. This is by MAC. It's the MAC 221. Now I use this brush when I want to intensify my crease, or when I want to specifically deposit color into my crease only, I go in with this brush. Because if you look at it, it's like really thin and pointed. I don't know if you can see that. Pointed from the top. Another blending brush that I use all the time is the Sephora rounded crease brush. It's like tapered from the top. Don't know if you can see that. It's not completely flat. It sort of has a pointed edge towards the top, which is really good if you want to blend out any dark colors that you just placed into your crease. I usually go in directly with this brush and it applies and blends beautifully. Now let's move on to that we use to deposit color into our lid. So if you want absolute maximum color payoff, you just want to deposit color into your lid. I have a brush like this. It's just your regular paddled brush. It's the Sigma eye shading brush in E55. So this is just mainly used to just deposit color. It gives you really good color payoff. Another brush to deposit color is, you know, those highly pigmented eyeshadows, or to place pigments. You need a flat synthetic brush to do that. Excuse my brush because I've just used it, so yeah, it's got some color in there. This is the MAC 242. I tell you, this is like the best brush that MAC ever made. I wish I could buy like 3-4 of these, because I go in with this brush every single day. Whether it's pigment, whether it's glitter, whether it's eyeshadow, I mean, it's so thin and it's so precise. Sometimes I use this actually to just cut my crease. Like if I don't have the time or the patience to, you know, go over, I just go over with this brush with my eyeshadow, and it places the color really accurately alongside your crease. This is the MAC 242. I use this MAC 212. This applies the eyeshadow pretty precisely and intensely. It's pretty intense when you use this brush to do your lower lid. You need a brush to smudge out your eyeliner or your eyeshadow. It's like a pretty intense thick brush. This is by Sigma. It's the Sigma Smudge E20. Now the other two brushes, you need something to place highlight into your inner corner. This is also by Sigma. It's the Sigma Pencil E30, Everybody needs a pencil brush, and I tell you from Sigma, this one's amazing. It's so soft. It's really soft. So you could also use this under your eye, inner corner, to highlight your brow bone, whatever, wherever you please. This brush is by Morphe. It's the Morphe 515. It's a pretty small detailed brush. I usually use this to draw a wing or I don't know, do some fancy shit to my look. Whenever I feel like I want to get a little fancy and creative, I use this guy. This guy is literally the tiniest brush that you could probably buy. And it's by Morphe. I ordered this from Glamazelle, and I think it's like only for 35 dirhams, so it's pretty cheap. So let's talk about liner brushes now, which is like really important. Now the only liner brush I use for my gel liner or any liner is this guy by Sigma. Look at how tiny this brush is. It's literally tiny. This is the winged liner E06. I tell you, Sigma makes really good affordable brushes. That's all the eye brushes that you could possibly need, possibly use to complete any eye look. Okay, so let's move over to face brushes, foundation brushes. Now I only have two brushes to talk about when it comes to foundation. Now this brush is pretty expensive, but I tell you, this is the best brush in the world. It's the Artis Oval 7. Look at how dense this brush is. It just applies your foundation beautifully. Just 2 swipes and you're done. And it also uses very little foundation. It doesn't eat up my foundation like sponges do or other brushes do. This is just on a different level of brushes. It's like the Rolls Royce of brushes. So yeah, you need this brush. Okay, now another foundation brush that I truly love is the Sigma 3D Kabuki brush. Mine's dirty because I used it today.
I used to be crazy about the F80 or the F85, I don't know, the flat Kabuki brush from Sigma. I used to love that brush, and then I moved on to this guy. And then I wanted to get another brush because I didn't want to be using this every day. Because, I don't know, very cleverly designed to go over this area, this area, and this area. It gets the foundation and buffs it into these areas really well. Specifically, if you want to lay foundation over here, it will not disrupt your brows. Over here, your eyes, it gets like the foundation really precise. It just applies very precisely to all areas. So yeah, I like this brush. It's really cool for that. So we're done with the foundation brushes. Now let's move over to this.
Now, I love this brush. This is the Sigma 3D Kabuki. It's like a mini version of this guy. This guy is amazing. I usually use this for cream contouring, to place the color or to contour my nose with it, because the edges are just like really good for that. You could just place the color right here. It's pretty good for cream contouring, spot concealing, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it applies and buffs out the product beautifully. My favorite brush to blend out the concealer, my under eye concealer, is this guy. This is more of a newer brush. It's by Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki F79. This blends out my concealer like a dream. It's like a foundation brush, except like a smaller version to just blend out your concealer. So if you have this, and this is all you need for your face to blend out your foundation. You basically don't need anything else.
If you're into concealing or heavy concealing or light concealing, whatever kind of concealing that you guys are into, you should get a concealer brush, trust me. Now let's move over to powder brushes and contouring brushes, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Only brush that I use to set my face for powdering is this guy over here. This is MAC 140S. It's a really nice brush. Do you see how this is shaped? It not only applies powder to your face, but this is pretty good for bronzing up the face. I mean, I love this guy just to bronze and to set my makeup. It's big, it's huge, just look how big this is. Now let's move over to blush. I only use one brush and one brush only to put on my blush, which is the Morphe E4 brush. This was actually more of a contouring brush, I think, but this brush is amazing. I mean, it's so soft. It's really soft. It's one of the best brushes that Morphe has. I tell you, this is like amazing. It applies the blush and blends and applies beautifully. I mean, you need this brush. I mean, you have to try it. I mean, it's not that pricey. You can purchase this from Glamazelle or Cult Beauty or whatever pages that they sell Morphe at, but I buy all my products from Glamazelle. A great brush for your blush. We all know we love contouring. Now, I use two different brushes to contour. Now, the first brush I'm going to show you is the Sigma Emphasize Contour in F57. This brush is designed to contour. This not only stamps the product in, but also it could be used to blend out your contour. Now, another brush that I use to contour is by Makeup Forever. Now, this is specifically designed to give you that chiseled look. Yeah, I use this a lot. It's like really, it's not as densely packed. It's really nice. It's a really nice brush. This is 408. I don't know. It's called 408 Wavy. This is my favorite, my only brush that I use. This is the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35, but I don't really use highlighter in the sense it was actually designed to highlight your under eye. You know, where you place the under eye setting powder. This is great to set your powder because it has a pointed tapered edge and it lays the powder and applies the powder seamlessly to this area of your eye. You could also use it to place the powder, you know, on the bridge of your nose as well, because it's like really pointed around here. Yeah. Now for highlighting, I basically only use two brushes. One is my favorite, just a basic fan brush. This is by Makeup Forever. It's the Makeup Forever 120 straight and wavy. I don't know what that means. But fan brushes are great for highlighting because it applies to the highest planes of your face, exactly where you want to highlight, which is over here or up here. So it beautifully picks up the powder and places in the areas that you want. It's also pretty good to do this bit, to do your Cupid's bow and highlight your nose. When you highlight your nose with this brush, you go like this. You obviously don't go like this on the bridge of your nose. You need to just go like this. Like this. So yeah, this brush is great for that purpose. And I use the other brush that I use is the Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush in F03. This is one of the newer brushes that just came out. Really nice to place the highlighter. I mean, it's not too big and it's not too small. It's just perfect to place the highlighter when you want, to work that highlighter onto your face. You go in with this brush. It's really cool. So that about completes all our brushes. So if you did enjoy watching this video, please do like and subscribe to my channel below. Until then, see you. Bye bye.